Okay, everybody, I do see that it is 9:30. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'd like to call the meeting of the Human Services Committee to order. A physical quorum of the members is physically present. I will entertain a motion to permit those members not physically present due to personal illness or disability, employment purposes, or for the business of the board or family or other emergency to participate by video or teleconference. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Member Galassi.
Thank you.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Chair Swarzy.
Here.
Member Cahill.
Here.
Member Garcia. Here. Member Desart. Here. Member Galassi.
Here.
Member LaPlante.
Here.
Hey, do we have any public comments?
No public comment.
Hey, I just wanted to say one more thank you to Joe and Olson for doing such a wonderful job last week for our small human services grant presentation. So it went very well, and thank you very much.
It is a team effort. We could not do it without all of our team on the board office and our friends from Community Services Communications who helped out, Brett and Catherine.
Thank you.
Outstanding assistance.
Thank you very much. Any remarks from our committee members at this point?
I want Heidi's job next year. No, you don't.
She's the one who actually got to hand the checks.
Oh,
yeah,
that's true.
her job.
That's true. That was fun.
Hey, I have no other remarks, so we'll move on to our agenda. I'll take a motion to approve item 25-1643, Human Services Committee regular meeting minutes, Tuesday, June 17, 2025.
Second.
Thank you. Moved by Member Garcia, second by Member Desart. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you, thank you. I'll take a motion on FIR 11125, acceptance and appropriation of additional funding and extension of time for the ILD CEO Community Services Block Grant for program year 25 in the, from $1,269,609 to $1,401,491, an increase of $131,882. Did we get a motion in a second?
Yes.
Okay, any discussion here? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. I'll take a motion on HSP 2825, awarding resolution issued to Arcos Environmental Services, Inc. to provide mechanical and architectural weatherization, labor and materials for the weatherization program for the period July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 for a contract total not to exceed $135,000.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I'll take a motion on HSP 2925, awarding resolution issued to Chicago United Industries Limited to furnish, deliver, and install Energy Star appliances for the weatherization program for the period July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 for a contract total not to exceed $238,000.
So moved. Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I'll take a motion on HSP 3025, awarding resolution issued to Healthy Air Heating and Air Inc. to provide mechanical and architectural weatherization, labor and materials for the weatherization program for the period July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 for a contract total not to exceed $135,000.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Take a motion on HSP 3125, awarding resolution issued to My Greenhouse HVAC LLC to provide mechanical and architectural weatherization, labor and materials for the weatherization program for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 for a contract total amount not to exceed $135,000. Okay, we had a motion, a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I'll take a motion on 25-1644, awarding resolution issued to Comfort First Insulation and Energy Solutions, Inc. to provide architectural weatherization, labor and materials for the weatherization program for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026 for a contract total not to exceed $15,000.
So moved. Second.
Okay, any discussion here? Roll call, please.
Member Garcia.
Aye.
Member Desart. Aye. Member Galassi.
Aye.
Member LaPlante.
Aye.
Member Cahill.
Aye.
Chair Swarzy.
Aye. Thank you. Take a motion on 25-1645, HSP 0009A25, amendment to resolution HSP 000925, issued to DuPage Home Ownership Center doing business as Home DuPage to increase encumbrance in the amount of $40,000 for additional grant funding received by the ILD-CEO, resulting in an amended contract total not to exceed $86,888.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. I'll take a motion on 25-1646, HSP 0005A25, amendment to resolution HSP 000525, issued to Garden Works project to increase the encumbrance amount in the amount of $4,992 for additional grant funding received by ILD CEO, resulting in an amended contract not to exceed $74,992.
Can I say something about this one?
Second.
Okay, got a motion, a second, yes, please.
Okay. I believe, and Mary, please correct me if I'm wrong, did Garden Works also apply for one of the small non-for-profit grants? Okay, so just for next year, can we also add in, you know, how we're learning and growing,
Yes,
that if you're already receiving funds from this committee, then that renders you ineligible for a small not-for-profit grant?
Sure, we'll definitely have that discussion,
Okay.
at the level that we do when we're trying to.
Wonderful. So this is, I'm glad they're getting funded here, but that is why I didn't fund them for my small individual.
Thank you, thank you,
Sure.
thank you for sharing, for sure. Any other discussion here? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. I'll take a motion on 25-1647, HSP 0008A25, amendment to resolution HSP 000825, issued to Outreach Community Services, Inc. to increase encumbrance in the amount of $15,000 for additional grant funding received by ILD CEO, resulting in an amended contract total not to exceed $115,000.
Second.
Motion, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. I'll take a motion on item 25-1648, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Alco Sales and Service Company for wheelchair parts, supplies, and accessories for the DuPage Care Center for the period of August 6, 2025 through August 5, 2027, for a total contract amount not to exceed $18,000. We got a motion and a second. Any discussion here? Roll call, please.
Member Dessart?
Aye.
Member Galassi?
Aye.
Member LaPlante?
Aye.
Member Cahill?
Aye.
Member Garcia?
Aye.
Chair Swarzy?
Aye. Thank you. I'll take a motion on item 25-1649, recommendation for the approval of a contract to, how do I say that? How do I say that, Janelle? Rexium, thank you. Rexium Inc. for maintenance and support for the Fast Pack Elite Medication Dispensing Machine for the pharmacy at DuPage Care Center for the period of September 1st, 2025 through August 31st, 2026, for a total amount not to exceed $16,844.99.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Member Garcia?
Aye.
Member Dessart?
Aye.
Member Galassi?
Aye.
Member LaPlante?
Aye.
Member Cahill?
Aye.
Chair Swarzy?
Aye. All right, thank you. I'll take a motion on 25-1650, recommendation for the approval of a contract to Henry Shining for deluxe top over bed tables with base for the DuPage Care Center 2 North and 2 South neighborhoods for the period of July 2nd, 2025 through July 1st, 2026, for a total amount not to exceed $15,260.60.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Take a roll call here, please.
Member Garcia?
Aye.
Member Dessart?
Aye.
Member Galassi?
Aye.
Member LaPlante?
Aye.
Member Cahill?
Aye.
Chair Swarzy?
Aye. All right. Thank you, everybody. On to residency waivers. I'll turn this over to Janelle, because we do have one.
We do. Good morning. There are currently 8 male beds available. 4 have already been assigned to in-county applicants. There are currently 14 female beds available and 3 have already been assigned to in-county applicants. So no one will be displaced with this applicant. This applicant's spouse was just admitted to the care center for a long-term care need. So this will put the husband and spouse in the same facility, and families lived in the area for 27 years.
Any discussion here? Take a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, Janelle.
I think there was a question with member Galassi.
Oh, Member Galassi, I'm sorry. I didn't.
That's
see your-
okay. I'm just curious, if a husband and wife are in the facility together, can they be in the same room?
If they choose to, yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you. I was just curious.
Yep.
All right, thank you. And we did vote on that already, so thank you very much. And since you're up,
Yep, very good. We are in the post-acute network for CDH Northwestern Medical Center. The post-acute network is a huge application that we submitted probably about 6 years ago. They only select a certain number of facilities to be part of that network. And so we've been in that network for quite some time. They have now come out with their own accountable care organization. So this is a coordination and care to drive quality and reduce costs. They really look at quality metrics and financial goals, and now we've asked to be a part of their ACO. So I believe Renee had a chance to look at that contract, and so we'll be moving forward with that as well. So that's great news for our
okay, what does that do for us?
It just gives us more referrals. We're higher on the list.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
The golf outing was a great success, exceeded previous years, and we grossed $53,000. Golf outing. It's a great day. Let's see. I think I handed, Member Cahill the calendar. She had a question last meeting. And so I talked about our robust calendar. I don't know if you want to pass it around. So we have an all-house calendar. So we had someone decide to do large group activities, like bingo is generally a large group activity. Everyone loves it. And then each unit has their own programming as well. Yesterday, we had the pleasure of going to lunch with our new resident executive council members. They have their own vote. And so they selected vice president, vice president, secretary, food committee person. There's multiple positions. And so we went to a lunch yesterday and had a really nice event.
And the residents?
They're residents, absolutely.
Very nice. I will say that today at 7 o'clock, fact or crap is on the agenda.
Crap.
That's right. I did not name
It's just the names of the activities. Is it true or is it not true? Believe me, the creativity of the group, and yeah. The terminology likely came from the residents as well.
Thank you, Janelle.
Yep.
And I need to apologize to you and I guess maybe to this committee because I did not promote the golf outing as I said something couple months ago and it sort of slipped my mind and I kept forgetting to announce it, but I'm glad it was a success despite that.
Yep. Yeah, thank you.
On to our community services update, Mary Keating.
Good morning.
Oh, I'm sorry, Carrie, I'm not looking at you.
Sorry, that's okay. I'm just curious, Janelle, is 53,000, that sounds like a great success. I'm just curious how that compares to years past or what
It's
your goal
exceeded.
was.
Yeah, it exceeded years past.
Oh, wonderful. And did you have a goal? Like, were you trying to raise?
To exceed years past is a great goal.
What was last year's?
You know what? I can't recollect off the top of my head, exact what those numbers are, but I can get them for you.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the money raised goes to activities like fact or crap or other activities.
Actually, yeah, positions too. It
Oh,
helps
okay.
like a part-time position. It
Oh,
pays for
great,
positions
great.
for the rec team. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now, Mary Keating, thank you for your patience.
Oh, no, thank you. Just back on the agenda, the item on, for home DuPage, that additional $40,000. I just wanted to point out that that's for, that will allow them to initiate a credit counseling component to their services. That was a request or a suggestion of Member Garcia on the CSBG Advisory Board. So Gina and her team worked with home DuPage to get that up and running. So thank you, Member Garcia, and thanks to the team for making that happen. And then I'm passing out our 211 year in review
sorry.
document. I'm good.
This is great.
Yeah, so this kind of highlights, who's calling 211, how many people, where they live, what their needs are. I want to thank Catherine Kozlowski from our communications team who put this together. All of this information is also available on the 211 website. If you go to 211 DuPage and go to About, then there's is it called a dashboard? Yeah. Something like that, but there's data on there that you can actually drill down into your individual zip code and see what the, how many people called, what the needs were. You can do any kind of time frame you want. It's an extremely robust website in terms of the data that we're able to collect. So we put it together on a nice one pager, but that information is available real time anytime you're interested in what we have. So
Who will get these?
county board, we'll also be putting them out when our outreach team goes out. It'll be one of the pieces that,
Pretty piece.
yeah.
Can we also hand these out at community development to our
Sure.
municipal
Oh, yeah,
partners?
sure.
Okay.
I can give those out today. Yeah, we'll
Great.
make sure the full board gets a copy and then, yeah, that's a great idea. I'll bring them to, the CDC meeting this afternoon. Okay, that's all I have. And
Okay,
have a good fourth.
member Gifford.
Thank you, Chair Sparky. Mary, I just wanted to mention that somebody over the weekend reached out to me from Naperville, someone who's been living out of her car and just needed help. And, the weekend was really, really tough for her. And I directed her towards 211. And to be able to do that, people feel like, oh, it's the weekend, no one's going to be able to help me. And for her to be connected to 211 and hopefully get the help that she needs means the world to her. So thank you for the work that you're doing and your department is doing. And thank you, Chair, for all your leadership. So
Well,
just wanted
and
to
that,
bring that up.
that, just a reminder that expansion to 211 was ARPA funded. And so that's something that we're going to get a little bit of money from the state, but that's something that for 2027 and beyond,
Yeah.
we'll want to make sure that as we look at what are the priorities when the ARPA funding goes away, absolutely, I think that, the 24/7, we've always had INR. But to your point, it was, well, on Monday you can call, but to have that 24-hour,
Yes.
7-day-a-week number is really helpful. So thanks for referring her and thanks for acknowledging.
Yeah, I was just wondering, we had our district meeting, last week.
Mhm.
And, we met with the mayor of Naperville, Warrenville, Lyle, Aurora. And I was wondering if we could get just a little stack of these. And, actually, just to give out whenever we're in situations like that. Paula and I were at we're grading scholarships last week too. And I stole two of them pens, and I've already given them out. So, I mean, I'd just like to have a little stash of.
Yeah.
them
You don't
to
have
be
to
able-
steal them, Dawn.
Dude,
I'll give you more.
well, that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, in fact, I think we've ordered a whole
Yeah.
bunch of
Yeah,
211
so
sort
when
of.
we're in situations like
Yeah,
that
sure.
or out in the community,
Yep.
I don't know, these are, 4-color glossy, so I'm sure they're expensive. But just, the 2-in-1 pencils or pens, for example.
Sure.
Just for the mayors would keep it, top of mind for them.
Right.
All right, the second question I have is scary. How does this federal budget that they're gonna pass, how does that affect our community service?
So the budget reconciliation bill that they're talking about isn't the annual appropriations. It's sort of that policy, policy document that will drive budget discussions for the next
Right.
10 years. So in terms of the individual appropriations to things like CDBG, CSBG, those conversations will start once the budget reconciliation bill happens. So the budget reconciliation bill, obviously, there's a lot of discussion about Medicaid.
Yeah.
We really don't know how it will impact so for our community care program, those seniors are all on Medicaid. So what the actual impact will be on those folks, that bill is changing every 15 minutes, so.
That's true.
um,
But I'm also wondering about like LAHI or
Right.
organization.
So, right, that's a separate discussion. So, like I said, the budget reconciliation bill doesn't establish the individual annual appropriations for different programs.
Okay.
That will happen soon, but, so where we are in that process is the president issued his proposed budget, which zeroes out all of those programs that you're asking about. Now, I will say that's not the first time that the Trump administration or any previous administration, it's not the first time we've been down that road where the president's budget zeroes out a number of those programs that assist low and moderate income people. In the past, in every case, those programs were reinstated by Congress. So the president sets a budget. But then Congress, it's really up to Congress to do their annual appropriations. And so what will happen soon, and I think the schedule they're trying to get on is that if this reconciliation bill actually gets to the president, you know, once they get that done, then they'll start on the annual appropriations. And so the House and the Senate will each have to do their individual markups of all these programs. That's where we'll see what are the numbers that Congress is proposing. I think we'll get a better idea once those markups are done. You know, they each do their markup, then they each pass their appropriations, then they have to have the reconciliation where they come up with final numbers. What I will say is that there is just a hopeful thing, at least in terms of CDBG and home. So NASED, the National Association for County Community and Economic Development, was one of the organizations that submitted comments to the chair and the ranking member of the House Transportation, Housing and Urban Development Subcommittee. So it's the House committee that will actually mark up their proposal for what, you know, how much CDBG and home funding there should be next year. So the chair and ranking member of that committee are reaching out to stakeholder groups to ask them about those programs, what kind of modifications should there be, because they're talking about reauthorization of those programs. So the fact that there is bipartisan conversation going on about reauthorization of those two programs, I think is very positive. They're not saying, well, that's going to be gone anyway, so let's move on to other things. No, it's anybody's guess, I think, what these numbers will finally come up to. I would be shocked if all of the draconian cuts that are in the president's proposed budget go through. I gotta believe that there will be some, you know, that there will, you know, I mean, to wipe out LIHEAP entirely and CSBG and CDBG and a number of those types of programs. Interestingly, president's budget did not eliminate the home program, but it cut it by 80%. So, you know, that's really aside from the tax credit program, that's really the only substantial federal source for to use towards the construction of affordable housing. So why it was capped but cut by 80% just kind of doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But we'll see. So, you know, we'll see. So we should know probably, I'm hoping we'll see the House and Senate markups end of July, maybe August. But yeah, I'll keep you posted. But that's the reason that I did not, you know, I just submitted a status quo for my general fund money. I just basically copied and pasted last year's budget or 25 to 26, because it's all going to change based on where all those federal programs fall.
Thank you, Mary.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Okay,
Mary.
no, and
Appreciate it.
NACO is next week, so if I hear any sort of insider information from NACO and their legislative updates, I'll be sure to keep everybody posted.
In Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you. All right. Do we have any old business? Okay, saying none, do we have any new business? Okay, saying none, without objection, we are adjourned. Thank you.